I know, if you clicked on this video, there's a good chance you're a busy modern mom, trying to do 100 things at once, and slowly feeling exhausted because your child clings to you so much. Every day starts to feel the same. You stand up, and your child follows. You walk into the kitchen. They walk into the kitchen too. You close the bathroom door, and you still hear your name from the other side. All you want is a few quiet minutes to breathe, to let your mind rest. But your child is still pulling on your hand, asking to be held, asking to sit close, and asking you to stay right there. At first, it felt sweet. You told yourself, maybe they're just attached to mom right now. But when it happens, over and over, every single day, something inside you starts to shift. You still love your child deeply, but you also start feeling tired. Tired of being needed all the time. Tired of never having real space to yourself. Tired because even when your body is here, your energy is already running out. And then, little by little, that tiredness turns into worry. You start searching for answers online. You read articles, you watch videos, you look for books. You type things like, how do I get my child to play alone? How do I teach independence? Is it normal for my child to be so clingy? At what age should my child be more independent? And the more you read, the more pressure you feel, because there are so many voices out there telling you that being too attached to mom is bad, that too much clinginess will make your child less confident, that if you don't fix it early, your child will grow up dependent, fragile, and unable to stand on their own. So now, on top of being exhausted, you carry another quiet fear. Am I hurting my child just by being there too much? Am I raising a child who will become too dependent? But there is something very few people say to mothers in this season. This stage, the stage where your child follows you everywhere, it is actually much shorter than you think. Not 10 years from now, not when they're fully grown, and just a few years from now. For many children, after age 5, their world starts opening up differently. They spend more time at school. They have their own friends, their own games, their own interests. They start wanting to do more things on their own, make more choices by themselves, and they no longer follow you with the same kind of closeness they do now. One day, you'll stand up and walk into another room, and they won't follow. One day, they'll feel upset, but instead of running straight into your arms, they'll hold it inside a little longer. One day, your presence will still matter, but it won't be the very first thing they reach for on instinct. And what you may actually miss, it is not just a phase of they're still little. What you may miss is this exact season when in your child's world, you are their safest place. You may miss the moments when they run to you, just to make sure everything is still okay. You may miss the moments when they cling to you, not to make your life harder, but because their immature nervous system is trying not to drift away. Under the weight of tiredness, fear, and overwhelm, you may miss what it feels like to be trusted completely by a small child. You may miss a kind of connection that is raw, instinctive, primal, and once it passes, it does not come back in the same form. That is why, before we rush to see clinginess as a problem, that needs to be fixed as quickly as possible. We need to look a little deeper, because many times, what's happening is not that your child is weak, too dependent, or somehow not okay. It may simply mean your child is in a stage of development where their young brain still needs to stay close to the person who feels safest. But understanding that does not mean you have to keep feeling drained every day. You can help your child become more independent, just not by pushing them away too soon. There is a different way, a way that helps your child gradually become less clingy while still protecting the connection. That matters so much between the two of you. So stay with me until the end of this video, because in the next part, I'm going to walk you through 3 very practical steps, simple things you can start trying today to help your child become more independent, without losing that deep sense of safety and connection. And if you enjoy parenting content, that is science-based, practical, and doesn't make parents feel guilty. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. It truly helps me keep creating deeper, more helpful videos for your parenting journey. Now, before we get into those 3 steps, we need to answer the most important question first. Is clinginess at its core actually a problem? And the answer is not exactly. At least, not in the way many people assume. To an adult, clinginess looks like dependence. But to a young child, clinginess is often the brain's way of searching for safety. A small child does not yet have the ability to regulate emotions the way adults do when they're tired, sleepy, overstimulated, uncertain, when the environment changes, when something feels off, or when something difficult just happened. They naturally move toward the person their nervous system trusts the most, and in most cases, that person is mom. So many times, what's really happening is not, my child is too weak to be away from me. It's this, my child is using my presence to feel regulated again. That is not bad behavior. That is not being spoiled. That is not manipulation. And it is not proof that you've failed as a parent. It is a very normal attachment mechanism in the early years of life. And if you look deeper, you'll find a very important paradox in child development. The children who have a safe place to return to are often the very children who slowly become brave enough to move farther away. In other words, independence does not usually grow. By cutting off a child's attachment needs too early, independence often grows from the feeling, I know mom is still there. I know if I need her, I can come back. I know the world is safe enough for me to move a little farther away. That's why children who feel securely connected often become more independent over time. But that still does not mean you have to stay exhausted. It does not mean you should simply let your child cling all day and call it healthy attachment. Because we also need to be honest about something very real. Clinginess can be normal, but if things are happening in a way, that leaves both you and your child constantly drained. Then some adjustment is needed, and that adjustment, it is not about pushing your child away faster. It is about helping your child move from attachment into independence in a healthier, gentler, more realistic way for a busy mother like you. And here are the 3 steps you can start with today. Step 1, connect first, then separate. This is the most important step. So many busy parents unintentionally begin with phrases like, go play by yourself, I'm busy. Stop clinging to me. You're big now, you need to be independent. But for a small child, independence rarely starts from the feeling of being pushed away. It often starts from the feeling, I've had enough connection, so now I can move away a little. So before asking your child to play alone, give them a very short moment of real connection, not 30 minutes. Sometimes just 3 to 5 minutes is enough. Sit down near them, hold them, look into their eyes, play one short game, or simply be fully present with them for those few minutes. Then say clearly, I'm going to play with you for 5 minutes, then I need to make dinner, and you can keep playing here. That may sound small, but it sends a very different message to your child's nervous system. Not, Mom is leaving me, but Mom connected with me, and now I know what comes next. That is how you help your child separate. With calm, instead of panic. You can try this today with 2 simple actions. First, fully connect with your child for 3 to 5 minutes before the moment you know you'll be busy. Second, tell them clearly what's about to happen. You can say, I'm with you for 5 minutes, then I'm going to wash the dishes. I'll play with you for a little bit, then you can keep playing while I do this. Right now is our time together, and in a little while, you'll play near me. Step 2, separate into small steps. Don't expect full independence right away. This is where many parents go wrong. Because they're so tired, they want their child to suddenly play alone for 20 or 30 minutes. But for a child who is used to clinging, that jump is simply too big. You cannot go from following mom all day to playing alone for half an hour, without a transition. Young children need separation in small, clear, predictable steps. So instead of expecting too much too fast, follow this sequence. First, be next to mom. Then, play near mom. Then, play a little farther away. And only then, move toward short moments of independent play. For example, today, your child plays on a mat near the kitchen for 3 minutes. A few days later, you increase that to 5 minutes. Then slowly, you increase both the time and the distance. The goal is not to push your child away quickly. The goal is to help them feel, I can move away from mom a little and still be safe. You can try this today by choosing a very short amount of time your child can actually handle. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. Use a timer, a sand timer, or even a familiar song, so your child knows when you'll come back. You can say, I'll be in the kitchen. You can play on this mat until the timer rings. Play here for 3 minutes, and then I'll come back and see what you made. I'm not far away. I'm still here. You play first. This helps your child stop feeling like you've disappeared into uncertainty. And for young children, predictability is a huge part of feeling safe. Step 3, don't rescue too quickly. Guide instead. This step determines whether your child is truly becoming more independent or only staying away from you for a few minutes. Many clingy children are not only seeking emotional connection, they are also used to a pattern. The moment something gets hard, mom steps in and does it for them. Putting on clothes feels difficult. Mom does it. A toy won't fit together. Mom fixes it. Frustration shows up. Mom immediately solves it. And of course, that comes from love. But when it happens too often, your child starts learning something unhelpful. I don't need to try for very long. Mom will handle it. And then clinginess stops being only about safety. It also becomes dependent on constant help. If you want your child to become more independent, you do not need to leave them alone in a struggle. You just need to change your role from the one who does everything to the one who guides. Instead of doing the whole task, help with just one part. For example, don't put the whole shirt on for them. Just help them find the neck hole. Don't rebuild the whole block tower. And just suggest, what if this piece goes on the bottom? Don't fix every frustration immediately. Help them move through the first step. You can try this today by doing one very simple thing. The next time your child struggles, pause for 5 seconds before jumping in and ask yourself, can they really not do this? Or are they just not used to trying yet? Then give only enough help for them to keep going. You can say, try one more time. I'll help with the first part. You try the rest. Do you want a little help? Or do you want to try first? I'm here. Go ahead and try. This is where your child begins building a very important belief. Mom is still here, but I can do part of this myself. And that is the real foundation of independence. So if your child is very clingy right now, don't rush to ask how to make them stop clinging as fast as possible. Start with these 3 steps instead. Connect first, separate gradually, guide instead of doing everything for them. This is not a method that changes your child overnight, but if you do it consistently, gently, and with patience, your child can slowly become less clingy in a healthy way, not because they were pushed away, but because they are actually growing from a place of safety. And if you've stayed with me until the end of this video, I want you to know something. I don't think you're just tired. I think you are a moth who truly loves her child, because only someone who still cares, still wonders, still wants to better understand their child would stay until the end to listen to something like this. Maybe you are not calm all the time. Maybe there are days when you feel overloaded. Maybe there are moments when your child's clinginess feels suffocating. But that does not make you a bad mother. It only means you are a human being, doing your best while still wanting what is best for your child. And I hope that after this video, you won't only see the inconvenience, the exhaustion, or the dependency in your child's clinginess. I hope you'll also begin to see the need for safety, the need for connection, and a very short season of life that one day you may remember with surprising tenderness. If you want, try these 3 steps over the next few days. You do not need to do them perfectly. Just start gently and stay consistent. And if you notice any change, even a very small one, come back and leave a comment. I would truly love to know how your child responded, which step you tried first, and what is actually working in your home. Because your experience might be the exact thing that helps another mother feel less lost. And if this video spoke to you, please like it and subscribe to the channel so I can keep creating deeper, more practical, more compassionate content and keep walking with you on this journey of parenting through understanding. Instead of only trying to correct behavior,